Hey everybody, it's John again from Gasper's Automotive Restoration, and I wanted to talk about one of the latest trucks in our shop here. We just got started working on it. It's a 1934 Dodge fire engine. It's a Pirsch. It's really cool. It's from North Stelton, New Jersey. I want to show this to you guys. It's going to be a really cool project. So here's our 1934 Dodge Pirsch from North Stelton, New Jersey. We are just getting started working on this. It's the North Stelton Fire Company, actually, in Piscataway. And this truck came in, it was in rough shape. Body-wise and frame-wise, the thing is all there, but there's no rust or anything, but it's just, mechanically, it just needed a lot of help. There's a lot of, questionable wiring here. Just somebody got in here, didn't know what they were doing, and kind of made a mess. And the cooling system was completely clogged. As you can see, it's missing a radiator. We came in and we removed the thermostat housing, and this was literally filled with crud. I've got some photos. I'm going to try to link them into the video to show you. I've never seen that much rust inside a radiator or a water neck in an engine ever. The radiator was completely clogged. I put water in the top, and we had a small little trickle coming out the bottom. The water was just coming out the top. Huge chunks of rust the size of silver dollars coming out of it. It was really, really bad. There's no way it would have ever worked. It would have just overheated instantly. So we ended up pulling the Welch plugs out of here, and we put the new ones back in, and we replaced all these. As you can see, we had to take a bunch of stuff off too, so I figured we'd send the starter motor out. And ring gear's got a little bit of wear on those teeth, but it'll work for now. And we sent out the generator too, and the regulator, which was up here. It had a bunch of wires going to it, and it was wired correctly, but just the wires aren't right. Someone used cloth wire at one point, and it looks really nice. And then someone got some free wire somewhere and used this stuff, which isn't even, this is high voltage wire you'd use in a factory, not in an automobile, and it's just terrible. So I don't understand that. The cloth wire, whoever did the cloth wire did it much nicer than the other guy, but we're going to take all that out and get rid of it. It's just a fire hazard. And we threw a new coil in and a bracket. The original Dodge coil goes in here, and it's got a flange on it, and actually sticks out of the firewall. Those are not available anymore. You can't get them, so we put a blue streak on there. That's all ready to go, and it runs good on that. Okay, the oil is so thick.
One step closer to your parade. She runs pretty good. The engine sounds good internally. I don't sense any problems.
The seat wasn't bolted down when we got it, so we had to bolt down the seat. I'm working on the fuel gauge sending unit over here. We had to put a new fuel tank on. There was no fuel tank when we got it, so these are some from my collection of stuff. Just messing around to see what works. Haven't found anything yet, but we're going to figure it out. This truck's got a really cool dash on it. I want you to see this here. This is a really cool 1930s dash. This would be awesome in a hot rod. It's just really, really nice, and it's in excellent shape. I can't believe how nice it is considering the age. I believe all the gauges work. I got the fuel gauge working. Tested that the other day. That goes right up to full when you ground it, and we just got to do a little bit of wiring in the back and fix all that, but I know the ammeter works, and I believe the oil pressure works, and we just got to wait when we can run it long enough to see if the water works. Original key, that's kind of cool. Usually that's missing, so that's the original Dodge 34 Dodge key and tumbler in there. That's kind of nice. Let's see what else. The tires on this thing were, they're just shot. Yeah, they're no good. That's not going to last very long. They're all dry rotted and worn out. And these are probably from, you get the white lettering on there, Firestone. I bet you these are from the 40s, probably. Never been changed, maybe the 50s at the most. Back here, we started potentially thinking about taking this water tank out, and I thought that this whole thing back here was an afterthought, like they did this in the 50s or something. They put a tank in here, an auxiliary tank, and they put this thing on the back. Not so. This tank in here goes from here all the way to the front, and it comes up here. It's all riveted together. It's all the same construction all the way back, and it goes all the way up here, and it's got this really cool copper cap in the middle here, and it's all one tank. So it was like that from day one. That's very unusual for a truck like this. Usually the tank looks like this right here, and it has a whole section way down there. So usually they're 200 gallons. This thing's probably 500 gallons, I bet, the whole thing, or 400 gallons of water. So that's kind of unique. And the fact that it's solid copper is really awesome too. This is something we want to change in the future. Somebody had some hose they got from a factory somewhere and put these on. I got to get some rubber hose for that. The fuel tank. So this is a really unusual setup here. There is nowhere on this truck underneath to put a fuel tank because of that large water tank and the fact that you have no room between the seat and the hose bed. There's no fuel tank on a 34 Dodge up on the cowl like a Model A would have had in 1930, 31. That style setup, it's not like that. So the factory Dodge must have had the gas tank somewhere on the frame, inside the frame somewhere, and it never worked. So they always had it out here, I believe, on this truck on the fender, or the running board, excuse me. So the tank that used to be here was not, it was gone. I don't know if it's on the New Jersey Turnpike somewhere or if it just was missing. I have no idea. I have some other pictures. I'll show you I think I got a picture of the electric fuel pump that was electric taped onto one of the gas tank straps that was still left here. It was really, really bad. That was somebody's idea of a safe way to have a fuel pump mounted on a fire truck. I'll see if I've got that photo, but this tank here is from Tanks Inc. If you need a fuel tank, you've got to check these guys out. I'm not being paid to say this. I didn't get any free deals here. I purchased this tank with my own money on behalf of the customer. But I've been starting to use these tanks in various projects, and they work really great. They come in, this is a universal tank. I believe it's 19 or 20 gallons. I chose this shape here because I felt that this bevel would look a little nicer than just a regular round or a rectangular tank on here. And the fill was on the side here, which is convenient. And all their tanks come with a 6-screw setup here you can use for carburetors or fuel injection. And they all come with a provision for a sending unit for your fuel gauge and this nice fill here, of course. So we mounted this on. They all have, these universal tanks have this nice mounting too. They give you these little brackets, these braces, and you can mount to the side or the bottom. Really, really well thought out. So really nice product. I highly recommend it. I believe it's tanksinc.com. Check them out online. Great product there. So we're excited about this. We're going to put some fuel in this once we get this engine ready to run. And we've got, let's see, what else do we do here? The transmission. So when I went to move this truck, the shifter was really loose. Like the shifter would literally rotate around here. Shifters aren't supposed to do that. They go like this and up and down. but the shifter itself was actually spinning like this inside the housing. And that's a sign that the pin in here is all worn out and the shifter's worn out. So I had to, one of the first things I did was I took this whole shifter tower off and cleaned it and rebuilt it with new springs and balls and things like that. And I had to rebuild this section here, make a new pin, and it came out really nice. So we had to do a little bit of brazing too, but it worked out. And now you can shift, and you've got first, second, third, fourth, and then your reverse lockout, which is this right here, works really good too. And I won't go into gear because it's a straight cut gear, but everything's working correctly now. Parking brake, I haven't even looked at it yet, but it's not hooked to anything. I don't know what's going on with that. We got to figure that out. We put a new battery in. We're in the process of testing the, we were in the process yesterday of testing the fuel gauge, so we got some extra alligator clips hanging around here. That's what that stuff is. We're going to be testing that tomorrow when we get some more parts in, but nice truck overall. I like it. It's pretty cool. It's got the dual hose reels and this really cool kind of beveled corner windshield here. I believe this is original. The lights on the sides are not, but we're gonna fix that. We're gonna remove those. They don't look very nice. But this truck overall is just a cool rig. You know, you don't have to have a fancy American LaFrance to put a fire out. This thing was very economical probably when it was purchased. I'm sure it was much cheaper than an American LaFrance or a Seagrave. And this is North Stelton's first fire truck as well. So that makes this even more special. So unfortunately too, now that I'm looking at this in the front end here, I might as well show you this damage. The previous fire company that had this, somebody was learning how to drive apparently at the firehouse, and they looks like they backed into it a couple times, more than once, and smashed up these fenders. So up until 5-6 years ago, these fenders were like pretty much mint, and now they're just trashed. So we've got to fix that at some point. We can definitely fix these, but it's a shame that those were destroyed like that. Also, Bob got over here at the that's our joke around here for the guy at the firehouse that says he knows how to fix things and doesn't. So if you're Bob, don't worry, we didn't name it after you. It's just we just picked that name. But Bob got over here with his welder, and well, yeah, he did a great job there trying to fix that fender. Okay, everybody, so I wanted to just show you underneath the truck here. I usually don't crawl underneath trucks, but just want to show you some of the stuff I found under here. We're changing the rear differential oil here, and we got wires hanging down. If you got this on your truck, make sure you get that fixed, at least tape it up or something. And don't do stuff like this. There's a wire just twisted together here with no protection at all, no solder, no nothing. And somebody used some old, looks like strobe light wire maybe? I don't know what this stuff is. It's all over the place. This is not what you use in a truck, fire truck. Oh yeah, look at that. That's nice. And there's just some cloth wire mixed in here. That's good wire, but it's just kind of run haphazardly. And let's see over here. We got all this, more of this strobe light wire over here. And by the way, on a Dodge, sorry if we're going upside down here and right side up and everything. It's kind of hard to figure out where you are under here. On a Dodge, this era, 1934, your fill right there is obvious right here. And well, from what I could see, the drain is that plug right there, which is pretty much right at the bottom. The bolt there is a different size head than the rest of them. These are all 11/16 all the way around. And that bolt is an original bolt, but it's 5/8. So I'm guessing that's the drain. There's no drain underneath the bottom there. I scraped it all off. There's nothing. So short of taking this entire cover off, you can just take that bolt out and drain it out. So we had some tar come out of there before. Let's go see what's over here. I think there was something else here too that was pretty good. Oh yeah. Here we go. Yeah, it's electrical tape holding this on to the frame. That's certified right there. Yeah, that's quality. And we serviced the transfer case and the transmission. We did that already, so that's good. You can just see underneath here, look at this tank, this copper tank, solid copper tank, amazing. All the way along. It's got to be hundreds of dollars in copper in just this tank alone. And we've got, looks like somebody drained out the tank here. They took this is a common thing you see, they took the rubber connection off just to drain it out. There's no drain on here. If I restore the truck, I'd put a drain on it, but that's how they did it. That's normal. And there's some more wire that I cut out. The piece of it was going up front. It wasn't even connected to anything. I don't know what they were trying to do, but so under here we had to rebuild this parking brake basically, or make a new one, because out of parts I had laying around. There was no drum. This drum was missing, and this band was missing. So they had the brackets, and of course the drive shaft was still here, but we had to machine this with a different set of holes to fit this yoke, because it's a slightly different yoke than the newer ones are, and because it's 1934, it's an early one. And we had to put this up here, put a new bolt in here, spring, band, all this stuff is all rebuilt. And they don't have the J bolt here. There's supposed to be a J bolt that goes through here with springs, so we're gonna have to source that somewhere. Got to have a parking brake. You can't run something like this safely without a parking brake. It's kind of silly. So that's what we did under here. And we've got a new battery box here. There was an old one there. It was really pretty much a piece of junk, and I fabbed up this battery box here with a hole down, and it came out pretty nice. Got a brand new battery in there, and I don't know if you can see the hole down on top. It's right there. I had to bend that up, a piece of rod stock, weld it up. So that's our battery box. Okay, we've got updates. I've got the exhaust in here from Manchester Muffler. We're going to be putting this in here on the 34 Dodge here, and we've been doing a lot of work here. We got the backing plates all cleaned up and painted, and there was a wheel cylinder missing on the front of this truck in the front left wheel here, and these wheel cylinders are like unobtainium. You can't get them at Napa or anything, and so we're searching around trying to find a wheel cylinder for this. We think we might know where one is, but that's on our list of problems here. And we did new brake lines here. As you can see, we got that all copper nickel. That's done all the way back, and Jim's working on the wiring here, all new wiring. And got a little problem here, slight issue. Tire wore through the drag link on this truck all those years, and we got to fix that. That's super dangerous. You lose your drag link, you lose your steering, and you go off the road. So good thing we saw that. And the engine, we're waiting on the starter and the generator still. That's out. Radiator's out. Carburetor's all set. Air cleaner's on there, right? Got the oil in it. New ignition. So ignition is working. We didn't rebuild it, but it's working. It's working well. And we've got again wiring coming through here. This is the old wiring here, and this is the new wiring here. So this stuff, all this spaghetti is going away. And we've got the back here. Show you the back. There's the brake line ready to go, waiting for the wheel cylinders to come back from rebuild. And that's where we're at on the 34 Dodge. Hey, look who's here. It's Lydia and George. Say hi, everybody. Say hi, George.
Wave.
Yeah, good job, buddy. Good job. Yeah. Are you fixing the 34 Dodge? All right. And that's our update on this new project in the shop. We're going to have more updates on this, And if you like this, subscribe. It really helps us out when you subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate that. It doesn't cost much. It's free. So it's free. Why? It can't hurt. Push the button, please. And help our channel out and keep that old iron running.